Good day, gamers. Purple Mentat here, bringing you episode 7 of our Terraria multiplayer expert playthrough, joined by Six Impossible, Connor, Saffron, and Everlost. We did some extensive exploring underground, trying to find where our underground hollow was, and discovered that it's basically entirely non-existent because of the underground jungle. Rather than bemoan our fate and wait and hope that we could find some, I was proactive, cleared out a relatively large area with the help of Everlost, and have planted some pearlstone to start spreading Hallow. I don't want to wait though. I would really like to start getting things done now, so I'm going to create some holy water. As you can see, spreads the Hallow to some blocks, made with 10 bottles of water, 2 pixie dust, and a Hallow seed each. We're going to go ahead and make 100 of them, and we're on our way. Gonna head down there, take care of that. We are going to create a nice large hollow area where we'll be able to do some fighting in the underground hollow, hopefully find some hollowed mimics, definitely get some souls of light to create our own if necessary. That's a lot of flares. As you can see, when the holy water lands, it goes ahead and changes all the local stone into pearlstone. And that very quickly causes this to become hollow, which very quickly begins spawning underground hollow type enemies. Illuminant slime, illuminant bats, and likely sometime soon here, at least one mimic. So I'm going to be down here killing these guys for a bit, getting myself some souls. If I hang out right here, they should spawn to the left and come straight to me without me needing to do much else. I might actually want some help. These guys are rough. Well, also I'm a terrible shot, so that's not helping me any. And there's the cavalry. Wow. Ooh, Chaos Elemental. We might actually want to extend this another handful of distance, another screen or so worth off to in one direction or another. Oh, good. And a skeleton merchant appeared just here, which is exactly where we need him to not be. Alright. What the... Oh, is that the crystal serpent?
Yes.
Nice. That comes from fishing in the hollow during hard mode, by the way. So I'm gonna actually push things a little further this way. We're gonna want to clear 3 up and 3 down, and at least 6 down from where I'm at as well. So just go ahead and point your pickaxe upwards while we're doing this. Anyway, we're gonna create ourselves this little hollow area under here, and we're gonna hunt mimics. We're also going to be making use of a corruption biome that we have near home to hunt some corruption mimics. And then once we get the drops from them, we'll be starting in on the mechanical bosses. I will show you the corruption area that we're going to be using in just a moment here. Alrighty, so I went looking around at the various corruptions that were available, and discovered that none of them were all too good at being great places for us to kill lots of stuff. So, I built another layer worth of stone up here, made myself some unholy water, and we're going to create an artificial corruption in here. Takes about 300 blocks on screen, so until I get to the end, I'm unlikely to actually see it as corruption, but once I head back this direction, well, the background should change, and so should the monsters that are spawning. Huh. I'm getting the corruption music anyway, and that's a Soul of Night, and there's the corrupt slimes, which break into slimelings. And they drop Blindfolds, which are one of the harder items to get for the Ankh Shield. So I'm super happy to have found it already. But yeah, we're just going to farm up a few souls, and then we're going to kill some of the Hallow and Corrupt mimics. Once we get to creating those and fighting them, we will pop back in and show you what that's all about. Hello, Klinger. I am having a lot of fun with this gun. I did not expect to enjoy guns as much as I am. I'm looking forward to getting my hands on the Mega Shark later on. Yeah, good times, good times. So, we're gonna let some time pass and do some more killing, and yeah, we'll see you soon. Alright, folks, we have gathered quite a few souls, and I'm pretty sure these guys still have more that I don't have on me quite yet. Let me show you what we're going to be doing with them. With 15 souls of light, we can get a key of light, and with 15 souls of night, we can get a key of night. We're going to do just one at a time for now, but very first thing, Hallowed Mimic.
Run away.
Get ready to dodge a lot. And also, when he stops moving, he will start reflecting your attacks. So you're not going to want to hit him when he his HP bar disappears. Every single one of these we kill is going to drop a special item. I don't know what that one dropped, but Connor has it.
That was an illuminant hook.
Okay, so there we go. We have a better hook, which is cool. And then if we come over here, we have more. We've got plenty of keys, folks. Also, hand me your souls so that we can keep killing more. I think you just tossed him to Saf because he teleported on top of me.
I don't have them.
Oh, dear. Someone definitely... Oh, I think 6 may have got them.
I'm standing right here. There we go.
I have all the souls.
I have 71 night, 44 light, 2 more keys of light, and a key of night. So we're going to keep farming some mimics here. I love that they added a way to get them guaranteed without needing to get lucky. Ow. Watch out. These guys hit hard. There we go. And once we have the loot from these guys, we'll come back and show you our goodies.
Another hook.
Another hook? Really?
Really?
And we'll get onto those mechanical bosses sometime real soon here. See you soon. Alright, we finally got the last of the items that I wanted to get out of the mimics, which was the Daedalus Storm Bow. I need to reforge this to Unreal because Unpleasant ain't gonna cut it, but check out what this does. The just sheer rain of arrows that's coming out of it, and the way it murders the things that it hits. Very nice, huh? We're gonna be... unfortunately, Connor had to go to bed, and we're gonna need to wait a couple of days before we can get back together with him to take on the mechanical bosses, but we have the Corruption and the Hallow fairly well contained. As such, we're probably going to spend some time working on farming up the components for an Ankh Shield. And first among those that I'm going to ask people to work on is the Blindfolds, which come either from the Dark Mummies in the Corrupted Desert, or from the Corruption Slimes, which can spawn surface or underground. So, lots of good areas to get. And, I mean, lots of good areas to hunt for it. There's going to be a whole list of things that we're going to need to get as well, like there's going to be plenty from the Pixies, which are going to be the Megaphone, I believe it is, as well as the Clock. We're going to need to do some farming in just about every biome, killing random enemies, but nothing too out of the ordinary or super exciting, you know? For my own part, I'm heading for the ocean on the left-hand side so that I can farm some maps for us. Because the maps are going to allow us to summon the pirate invasion, which I would like to fight a whole bunch of. Oh, look at this, another corruption. We did have the corruption on the far left contained, right? 6?
What are your coordinates?
7,000 west.
Yes.
Okay,
that
good.
Should be. If you see a break in that, let me know.
Alright. Cool. We should be alright. Alright, now that I'm close enough to the ocean, well, it's actually just any creature in an ocean biome that doesn't have some other drop. Hang on, I got too much junk in my inventory. That didn't help me at all, did it? But, like, here. We're in an ocean biome now. Even that slime has a chance to drop it. Basically, out here, there's a very good chance of practically anything dropping the... Ooh. Interesting. Got a whole platform going through the dungeon, going out into the ocean a bit. That's a little weird. Oh, and someone has set up a very tiny airlock. That's adorable. You know, I can use this. Hang on, I got an idea. So there was a sudden change of plans. It started raining. In hard mode, rain is great for two things. In the snow biome, you can find the frost golems. Ooh, another blindfold. And in practically every other biome, you can find the nimbus clouds. Ooh, there's another frost golem, or ice golem, whichever. The ice golems, they drop the frost cores as well as the frost feathers. Frost core is used to make really good melee or ranged armor, and the frost feather is used to make a really nice pair of wings. So, farming up ice golems, if you can take them, can be a very good thing to do as soon as you hit hard mode. Also, in the snow biome, speaking of which, frost core and an ice feather from that one, in the ice biome, the other thing you can find is the Amarok. And you can find it above ground
right here.
or underground. Oh, you have one? Excellent. It's a very nice yo-yo with a good range that does quite a bit of damage. 48 melee damage base at the beginning of hard mode. That's very, very powerful and very much worth your time and effort to farm up with as easy and frequently as they drop. Definitely worth a look. The Nimbus drops an item called the Nimbus Staff, which will put a cloud in the world that will rain down death upon your enemies. Highly recommend. Very fun. Much good. So yeah, there's quite a few options when you start hard mode to get out there and start farming some of the creatures that wander around and get your get some cool items that you're looking for. Unfortunately, there's not a whole lot of like hunting for treasure. You really just have to kill things to get what you need. Like these corrupt slimes, which drop the blindfold, which I believe we have at least 3 of so far. We're going to want a total of 5 so everyone can make an Ankh Shield. But yeah, back to the farming. Here we are again with a new farming task. It is the night of the full moon. I can't show you that on the infographic because unfortunately I don't have the sextant from the fishing quest yet. It's actually the one thing stopping me from combining all of the info accessories with my magic mirror into a cell phone. But on the night of the full moon, or during a blood moon for that matter, werewolves spawn. Or actually maybe they don't spawn during blood moon. Might only be full moon. Anyway, they're pretty great, and they drop 2 very important items. One, the Moon Charm, which will allow you to be a werewolf and give you special extra bonuses while you're at night. And 2, the Bandage, which will protect you from bleeding effects, and is, again, another important part of the Ankh Shield. Now, the mount that I'm running around on now is the Unicorn mount. You can get this by finding a Blessed Apple from almost any monster in the Hallow. It will drop both surface and underground. And the dye that I'm wearing is that phase dye I found, because the phase dye plus the unicorn plus this shadow dodge buff is amazing. A little hard on the eyes, according to some, but I don't entirely agree. So yeah, we're going to be killing a lot of unicorns, if I have anything to say about it, and hopefully getting a couple of bandages between now and morning. Alright, so as promised, we've done some crazy things with the little airlock that was over here, and made it a little bit more complicated, and it is now a fantastic little ocean grinder. You stand right here, and you will have aggro on the ocean enemies, and, except for that one crab, they should come to you and end up swimming through these bubbles into the lava and burning to death underwater. See? Because that makes perfect sense, right? Even better, once this jungle grass finishes spreading, this will count as a jungle biome, and therefore will spawn more enemies, and will spawn enemies faster, and will give us jungle drops. Now, we're going to be able to take this one step further. When you're in hard mode, every enemy you kill in certain biomes, those being jungle, hallowed, crimson, snow, and corruption, has a 1 in 2,500 chance of dropping a key. We've already gotten a hallowed key from farming all of the souls of light we needed to get the Daedalus storm bow and our other goodies. And I believe that Saffron just got a jungle key.
Yeah, and it just went to Everlost. But
Oh.
yeah, we got one.
You tried to throw it to me and my inventory is full. Whoops.
Yeah.
So yeah, what we're going to be able to do is we're going to be able to expand this a little bit to make sure that we can farm any key that we want at any time in this area. So I'm going to go get the blocks together that are going to be necessary to do this, and once I have done so, I shall return. So folks, most everyone has gone either to dinner or to bed, and it was I was tasked with containing the corruption. We noticed that the corruption was spreading when I took a look at the Ebonstone down here, and in fact I should probably get rid of all the Ebonstone, or get rid of or purify all the Ebonstone that is down there, just in case. And I followed the edge of it up this way, you can see it right here, to kind of put a barrier between one side and the other. So this chunk is going to be corrupted. This chunk looks like it's fine. I didn't see any on here all the way through. Could be good. I need to go back and widen that out to 4, though, just to be extra safe. Going up this way, there was none that I could find in this chunk here. We were all set. But heading up here, I did notice there was some purple ice along the wall. So I made sure to dig down all the way to connect with the mine tunnel. Made it 4 wide so that we're nice and protected. Now as I'm heading up, I just need to find that purple ice again. These are just ice blocks. I'm no good at spotting the difference between purple and blue a lot of the time. You'd think that, you know, with purple being my favorite color, that would be an issue, but really, it's certain shades of purple, you know? The ones that are more visible and different from blue. Unfortunately, very saturated blues tend to look like purples to me. And that's because I don't quite see red the way everyone else does. And that's because I literally can't see green the way other people do. Ah, here we go. Now we're finding purple ice. You can see some is on this side. But we're not finding any on this side until I get, probably about this high? Maybe a little further? I know that there's some. Here we go. Purple ice blocks. So we're going to start digging down here. And we're going to hop on the unicorn so that we guarantee we dig a 5-high path. This will make sure that it's plenty large enough to prevent the corruption from crossing. Making use of mining potions and shine potions, night owl potions, all the usuals. Make sure that I have a nice, easy time digging through here. Let's see. This is 418. This is 416. Fortunately, some of it may have spread down a bit, but I think that we're early enough. Because I'm not seeing any underneath us. And it would have gone through these first. And the general spread, once you kill the wall of flesh, is Hallow and Corruption, one going up to the left, one going up to the right. In fact, one of our... you can't really see it from here, but these 2 sky islands were part of the Hallow beam. So these 2 became hallowed. We don't have as much containment for the Hallow because we haven't really needed near as much. Though I might go back over here and finish digging this as a trench all the way down. Make it a elevator, or at least go to the mine shaft. The mine shaft's a good blocking point. Actually, you know, I don't even need to go to the mine shaft with it. I just need to take it to the jungle. Because the Hallow can't change the jungle. And in my explorations down here, I mean, you can see where the Pearl Stone starts around here. Most of it is contained within the jungle. The underground jungle blocked out most of the Hallow from stopping. Alright. I mean, from spreading. From getting anywhere in the first place, for that matter. So, once I have this path dug over to there, we'll have all of the... Oh, it's just an ice block. A weird-looking ice block, but a nice block. So yeah, this should have all of the corruption contained, assuming that... And I'm going to trust that 6 Impossible manage to get the other corruptions contained, as he's definitely done very well getting this one, as you can see, all dug out. So this little chunk here, this chunk here, this chunk, and this chunk are all going to be corrupted. But that's all that we're going to have to deal with out of the wall of flesh. And we should be able, we should see the corruption stop spreading pretty soon. We'll have to be checking with the Dryad and keeping an eye on it. And then, yeah, all that's going to be left, really, after that is going to be farming the mechanical bosses so that we can then get to, well, the steampunker so that we can start plantaminating the place, and 2, Plantera so we can push forward with progression. Fun times, right? Yeah, that early hard mode grind where you jump in and you start killing everything to get the good accessories and weapons and such. There we go. So, yeah, I'm going to finish digging this, and I'm going to expand and lengthen this to make sure that the hollow doesn't go anywhere. And I'm going to expand this to make sure that the corruption doesn't go anywhere else. And then, ooh, ow, cut it out. Bad slimes. And then we'll be 100% complete with containment. Alright, we've got some folks out in the Skeletron arena, putting the finishing touches, by which I mean back walls, on what we're going to end up using to fight the mechanical bosses. Because that's a nice big long arena with multiple layers to it. It should work out just great for us. We're going to take over a bewitching table, crystal ball, sharpening station, and an ammo box, which I seem to have accidentally restacked. There we go. So that we can get all of the furniture buffs while we're there to fight them. And because we have not actually broken the altars, we're going to have to use summoning items. But we have 8 mechanical eyes, 9 mechanical worms, and 11 mechanical skulls just from killing things. Because we have been farming to create the Ankh Shield. I'm going to show you the full crafting for that right now, except for a couple of pieces. So to make the Ankh Shield, you're going to need a number of items that you're going to need to farm from various enemies. You're going to need to get the Obsidian Shield, which we showed you earlier. Cobalt Shield from the dungeon and an Obsidian Skull will create the Obsidian Shield. You need the Plan, which is made with a fast clock, and which can drop from mummies, wraiths, or pixies, and the Trifold Map, which can drop from clowns, light mummies, and giant bats. You're going to want the Counter Curse Mantra. That's from the Nazers that we farmed off of the Cursed Skulls in normal mode, and the Megaphones, which are most easily farmed from pixies. You are going to need the Medicated Bandage, made from a Bezor farmed off of Hornets in the Jungle, and an Adhesive Bandage, in my opinion, most easily farmed from a Werewolf. And you're going to need the Armor Bracing, which is one of the more annoying ones to get. You need Vitamins, which if you're in a Crimson world, drops from the Floaty Gross, and if you're in a Corruption world, drops from the Corruptor. You also need the Armor Polish, which before the hard mode dungeon stuff opens up post Plantera, the only way to get this is from the armored skeletons in the caverns, which aren't a guaranteed spawn. So really we need to go underground and farm up a bunch more of those, because we only have the one at the moment, which is why only I'm getting this. You're also going to want the Blindfold. Blindfold is really easy to get in a Corruption world, because it drops off of the Corrupt Slimes and the 3 Slimelings that they spawn. If you're in a Crimson world, the only place you can get them is from Dark Mummies. You're going to need to level an area of Crimson Desert and let lots of mummies spawn. It is a very long and boring farming process. Once you have all 5 of these, you can combine those into the Ankh Charm, which grants immunity to most debuffs, and then you can combine your Ankh Charm with your Obsidian Shield to create the Ankh Shield, which will double the defense that the shield gives you, as well as granting immunity to knockback, fire blocks, and most debuffs. And mine came out spiked, so now I'm going to go spend a lot of money trying to get it back to menacing. After well, I was, except we don't seem to have any money in our shinies chest at the moment. Sadness. After a significant amount of research into... Oh, it might all be on me. I have 15 platinum in my piggy bank for some reason. After a significant amount of research into whether you're better off with menacing or... Oh, wow, one click and it's menacing. Look at that. Whether you're better off with menacing or with lucky, I've discovered that critical hits apply after defense has already taken their damage out of them. So let's say you're hitting some endgame boss with 50 defense. That 50 defense is going to remove about 38 damage from your attack. And if you're hitting for 100 damage, it ends up being that 100 minus that 38, which drops you down to 62, and then that 62 gets doubled by the critical to 124. On the other hand, if you have 20% damage bonus, which is what 5 menacing items will do for you, that 100 damage will become 120 before you subtract the 32, so you'll do 88 damage. Now, it sounds like 124 is more than 88, but you have to remember that that 124 only hits 1 in 5 attacks. So what you do is you take your 62 damage, multiply by 6, divide by 5 to get your average over 5 attacks with 1 critical. And 62 times 6 is 372. Over 5 gets you 74.4. And it always drops that last fraction of a damage. So 74 damage versus 84 damage. Pretty big difference. Or was it 82? Anyway. So you're going to flat do more damage with a 20% damage boost than you are with a 20% critical boost because defense is more powerful in expert mode. If you're in normal mode, they work out to be effectively the same, I believe. I haven't done enough math to guarantee that. But in expert mode, a menacing boost is going to give you more damage than a lucky boost, which is why I've reforged everything in my arsenal to menacing, because my job is to do damage. I am going to hide behind Connor and let him take all of the hits. As much as I can, anyway. So, let's get out there to the arena. We've got 5 minutes before nightfall. We'll join you then, and we'll figure out what we're going to take on first between now and then. See you soon. Alright, it's nighttime. We've extended the arena and made it fantastically long, because we had the extra time. We're about to summon the twins as our first boss. Everyone's used the bewitching table and whatever furniture buff is useful for them. Everybody's going to have at least 2 spiders out in the world to kill things with. We've all got our ruthless queen spiders, various places. I'm going to summon the twins up here, and we're going to try to keep one of them, the retinazer, above the ceiling, but the ceiling doesn't run the whole length of the place. And we're going to work on killing Spasmatism first. We're taking on the twins first, because with only 2 targets, and the fact that they are fairly easy to dodge, I think that we'll do better against them than against the Destroyer or Skeletron as our first go. Everybody ready?
Ready.
Yep.
Yep.
Here goes. Remember, the one that's firing the cursed flame we want to kill first, and you want to dodge that stuff if you can.
They have 100,000 though.
That's okay. That's okay. We'll take them out, slowly but surely.
I don't know. One of
So
them
many
turned down
stars! I'm using the Shadow Flame Bow. I believe that 6 is making use of the Daedalus Storm Bow, as he has switched over to a ranged build, as he is our get whatever you want guy. And we have a... Ooh, I've got a retinazer following me. I should head for the ceiling so he can't hit me. Ow. Ow. We've got a... well, we had a nurse down here. I guess she's dead already. We had a house with a nurse there. I hope everyone has remembered to bind at that bed. Not that you can reach it from outside.
You can if you stand on top of the platform.
Ah, there we go. Spawn point set. And people are dying left and right. That's okay. Stop that. Stop that. Stop shooting me, retinazer. Once Spasmatism hits 50%, it actually, it simultaneously gets harder and easier. He'll start charging someone with a fire breath that applies Cursed Flame, the same as his fireballs currently. We want to try to avoid getting both of them below 50% at the same time. Unfortunately, we're doing a lot of extra damage to Spasmatism. You really don't want to be standing in that if you can possibly avoid it. It hurts a lot.
Apparently I dropped my ice.
Yeah, why did you drop all... I wonder if that's a hard mode expert boss fight thing. I don't know why you dropped all your stuff.
Nor do I. Who fucking did that?
That was very strange. I haven't seen that happen before. I mean, you've died a number of times, but you've never dropped everything.
Nope, my character's on medium core, which is correct, right?
That's why.
That's why. You don't want that.
Yeah, apparently you drop all of your things every time you die, and you just never noticed before.
And I died again.
Yeah, you're probably not going to get back
that's
into
not
this
good.
fight. I'm trying to avoid picking up all of your items, but it's kind of difficult. Zaf!
It's fine.
And Ever, you're our last hope. Don't die. Use your potions as soon as you spawn. Try to keep Retinaser firing at the ceiling instead of the, There we go. I'm alive. I'm coming in. Alright, as soon as Spasmatism goes down, which is another 17,000, we basically have this locked in as a win. I wish I still had my dash. I do not, though. Oh, no, 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 no. Bad, 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 bad. Yeah, he's got 10,000 hit points left. 118,000 HP. Jeez. Yeah, this is why you don't want them both in their second form at the same time. It gets ugly. Oh, stay alive, Six. Stay alive. Stay alive.
I just cannot move as fast as they're moving. So maybe I should switch to single target rather than the arrow spam.
The arrow spam is part of what put us into this situation because Retinaser and, Retinaser is... Okay, one of them died. We're in good shape now. Now you should arrow spam them. Stay on the top. Keep under the, ceiling. And try to stay, so that we're not all grouped up. When you're under the ceiling, he cannot hit you except when he drops down. So don't run back and forth so much until he drops down. And do not stand with everybody else. And even then, running back and forth doesn't help. You need to dodge vertically. Saffron, get back up to the top and he can't hit you when he's flying over your head like that. And down he goes. Twins have been defeated. Alright. That was a fun go. Everyone get back here and get your treasure bags, and let's see what we got. Should be a pile of Souls of Sight. Everyone should get a mechanical wheel piece. I got a Twins mask. Nice. Look at me, I'm an eyeball. Rawr. Whoops.
Connor can't leave. And Connor, I believe I have your armor.
You probably do.
And we have, I got 20 hollowed bars. I'm sure we have a lot of hollowed bars. So we're going to do some crafting with these hollowed bars that we all got. Get ourselves set up with as many of us in hallowed armor as we can, which is going to be at best 4 of us because we cannot get Everlost into hallowed armor and still have him able to use his summons. We're going to craft him the optical staff, and we're going to try to craft Saffron either the harp or the rainbow rod. One of the two, we'll find out. And then next time we'll be taking on some more bosses. So, hope you've enjoyed the episode. If so, leave a thumbs up, tell us what you liked. If not, leave a thumbs down, tell us what we can do better. Either way, if you want to see more, please hit subscribe. And we'll see you tomorrow with more mechanical bosses to kill and a steampunker to play with.